Welcome to Unity of Kona and the day after Ironman 2017. How many people were out at the race yesterday? Yay! How many people competed in the race yesterday? Yeah. Isn't that an amazing feat of athleticism, especially in that heat? Wow, I was just so inspired by all of those athletes. Sasha, nice to see you. Anyway, we're going to begin our service today by saying together our affirmation for the month of October, which is all together, fall is the time for gathering our harvest. I am prosperous in every way. I am grateful. And now, if I could get the singers to come up and let's sing together, Stand Together by Faith Rivera. I'm going to ask Patrick to come up and please read our daily word.
Good morning, everybody. The daily word for, can you get the space bar down for me? Thank you. The daily word for Sunday 15th is free. I am free, I am unlimited. The lyrics to the hymn, I am free, I am unlimited, are regularly sung in spiritual centers of many faiths and denominations. They resonate on a universal level because they express an important truth in simple words, a proclamation of spiritual freedom. I may encounter daily challenges with my work, relationships, finances, or any number of other elements of this human experience. My ego may immediately believe me to be trapped, forced into painful choices, shaped by the demands of others. I remember that I am infinite potential. I am always free. At such times, I hear my true self gently singing me the truth. I am free. I am unlimited. There are no ties that bind me. End of the reading. Now the Lord is the Spirit. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. 2 Corinthians 3:17. So the daily word for today, October 15th, is free, and the affirmation, if we could say it together. I am free. I am unlimited. Thank you.
And now I invite you to visualize our sanctuary as a beautiful heart. And let's just see this heart moving in and around and through us. Going back into Sunday school, Kayla and our children. And in these moments, we just allow our heart to be filled with love, caring and compassion, understanding, and thoughtfulness for ourselves and each other. And just allow this to be full. And in these moments, if you are in need of prayer, or know of anyone in need of prayer, see them in our heart. And if you know of any circumstance in your world, and there are many in our world in need of prayer, we hold them all in our heart as we sing or say the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And now I invite you to get comfortable where you are. Close your eyes if that feels right to you. And we begin our time of centering and prayer by just breathing. Taking a deep breath, that very breath of life that is God. And just hold it for a moment. And as you exhale, begin to relax. Once more we breathe in. And exhaling this time, we just set aside anything that keeps us from being here right now. And breathing in again deeply. And holding it briefly. When we exhale this time, we rest in the consciousness of our heart. Begin to relax your breath. And just watch it and feel it and know this breath is so important to your body, your mind, your spirit. We breathe and we relax. We breathe and we know that God is the source of our supply. That there is only one presence and one power active in our lives and in the universe, God the Good. No matter what the outside circumstances may be, whatever you may read about, whatever you may hear, whatever thoughts are going in your mind, allow them to rest. Resting in the consciousness of knowing that all things work together for good. These moments are our time of reconnecting with the God of our being, of sitting in the stillness, of listening, and also a time of prayer, of truly asking, seeking, knocking, and receiving our blessings. This is a season of harvest, as a season of allowing Spirit to say, this is how much I love you. Look around and see the beauty that I have created for you. This moment is a new moment. This day is a new day of cultivating gratitude, of seeing our abundance everywhere, and of reaping our harvest. As we go into a time of quiet prayer, allow yourself to receive blessings, receive ideas, receive love that fills you, nurtures you, and loves you. Right here and right now in the silence. And now as we take another deep breath, we allow ourselves to settle into this moment, being aware of our blessings, our gratitude for all the goodness in our life. And we say thank you, Father, Mother, God, for blessing us, for reminding us of the goodness in our lives today and always. And so it is. Amen. And how is everyone today? Great, fantastic. Wow, that's awesome. Only a few of you are because I didn't hear everyone. So how are you?
Great!
Now that's a Unity Church, right? Yes, 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 yes. So today we're gonna have fun, I hope. And it's a good thing because it's all about abundance. So how many of you know that abundance is more than having a lot of money? Good students, truth students, that's the name of this game. So it's about learning to harvest your good everywhere, from everything, everyone, and all the seeds that you've planted. So do you live your life in abundance or lack? I know that about all of you. You really live your life from a place of abundance. So when you think about abundance, what kind of seeds do you sow in your life? What are they? Negative seed thought? No. Positive seed thought, Virginia, that's right. And how many of you watch all the news? Does that bring you a positive seed thought? Sometimes. So lately, I like to watch all the good things that are happening. You know, the kindness that is prevailing in our world in spite of great tragedies. And I had several people call me this week because they have family and friends in Santa Rosa and all those places. So immediately we went into prayer. And by the grace of God, the next day when I called this person, she said, you know, I think it was a miracle. Bad for others, but good for us. The wind changed, and our 3 houses, my children, my grandchildren, were all okay. And then another friend called, and he lost everything except his dog, his most precious possession. And so he was okay. So you just never know. Isn't that the truth about life? We never know in a twinkling of an eye how it all can change. And many of us have been through many experiences that say, holy cow, yesterday was so different, and today is a new day. Am I going to sow it with positivity? Or am I going to let those thoughts that try to ruin it take hold? And we know with all the turmoil in our world, it's up to us to create the energy of positivity. So what kind of thoughts are you planting in your world that you'll harvest one day? Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, wrote this about abundance. It's ideas in consciousness of the omnipresent supply and support of the one mind, an invisible substance with infinite capacity of expansion, when held in mind, affirmed and praised. If we want our lives to be full, we must allow that consciousness that loves to be in negativity to move forward in the other direction. And omnipresent means that it's present everywhere. The same omnipresent God is in the chair, is in us, plants, flowers, skies, whatever you look at, that presence that some choose to call God is with us. We all want to live more abundantly, don't we? Aren't there areas in your life that you think, could be better? We just have to figure out where it is, what we want to do with it, and know that we want more. Like we manifest, what's the number one thing you learned to manifest in Unity? That you learned? What is it? A parking place. How many of you always get a good parking place? Because you think, what? I'm gonna get a parking place. Yes, it's also going to Costco on Ironman Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see you there, Patrick, but I was there. Drove right in, got a parking place, went in, didn't even hardly wait in any line, and I was done. That's prosperity. And so what happens? There was no line in the gas line either. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go top it off. Because I could. Because those seed thoughts of prosperity were manifesting. Those are simple things. And you know, we get to manifest big things as well. So how do you want to be more abundant? How do you know where you're lacking? Guess what you got to do? Like a big business, you got to take inventory. You have to know where you are, what you have. What is making you tick? What is making you move forward? In doing so, we learn that God's abundance is everywhere and in every way. We know that truth is beyond our comprehension, but it fills us. Don't you love it when you're in prayer or meditation with a dear friend, family member, and you begin to feel full from this area of our being, our heart? And heart math has proven that the energy from our heart is so much greater than the energy in our mind. So we want to be able to continue to give, to move forward. We can't do that with an empty heart. So we must be filled. Edwene Gaines, who's, one of the best prosperity teachers I've ever had, she wrote this book a few years ago. It's called The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity. We've done classes on it. We've done my Sunday lessons on it. And in it, she talks about what abundance is. And if you've ever, how many of you ever gone or seen Edwene in her workshops or anything? Yeah, my kids have. They grew up with all this. And so Edwene, when she comes up on the stage, she stands here and she just says, I am a woman of power. I am a woman of passion. And I'm here to change the consciousness of prosperity of planet Earth. And she has done that for 40 or so years. And in it, she talks about where we think about prosperity. And it's more, like I said, than all the things of having money. But she writes, it's a vitally alive physical body to provide a comfortable, worldly home for the spiritual beings that we are. It's relationships that are satisfying, nurturing, honest, and work all the time. Prosperity is work that we love so much that it's not work, it's play. And all the cash you can spend. She's a practical teacher. And if you want to get this book and read it, I have several copies I can bring next week. But she tells stories. She's a great storyteller about the adventures in her life and prosperity, going to ministerial school. She's a Unity minister, and teaching about abundance. So the dictionary defines abundance as an extremely plentiful or over-sufficient quantity or supply, overflowing fullness. How many of you want to be overflowingly full? We do. And I'm not talking about the weight part. Fullness from the inside out. We learned that this Charles Fillmore talked about the many things that prosperity and abundance is. And so some words that describe abundance are ampleness, bounty, fortune, a myriad, opulence, plenitude, plethora. That's a big word lately. Riches, thriving, wealth, profusion, prosperity, prosperousness, and plenty. Those are 15 words that you can actually incorporate in your mind when you think about abundance and prosperity. In Hawaii, we say, I got plenty good kind of stuff, right? Or stuffs. I know people, that's what they say. I got plenty good kind of stuffs. And that's where we live, in Hawaii, because we have plenty. One thing we do when we take stock of our lives is that we begin to clear away what is no longer prospering us to make way for our greater good. We all have positive and negative thoughts and things about our circumstances, our people in our lives, or our world. We have the opportunity every day to stop thinking those negative thoughts, to stop judging, condemning, having wishful thinking. It's our job to stop doing that. So I invite you right now to think of one area in your life that may be lacking in abundance. Is it your work, your family, your health, your life, your love, energy, relationships, finances, your body? Think about something. And I want you to hold on to whatever pops up first. What keeps coming in your mind? It's kind of bugging you. We all have something. Some of us have even more than one thing. So we let the first thing that comes to mind be the area of our focus for this moment. Now notice the words that are in your head. Are they positive or negative about this circumstance? Are they positive or negative? What's coming in your mind? And then what we do, and this is a beautiful teaching about unity, we take that thought and then we apply something to it that will change it. And out of those 15 words, take one of those words, fortune, myriad, opulence, plenitude, plethora, and apply it to that circumstance right now. And I want you to think of that word in your mind right now. And in a few minutes, a few seconds, you're creating abundance in a situation that you didn't like a moment ago. That's how simple unity teachings are. To take something that is bothering you and to take a prosperous, abundant thought and apply it to it. And what it does is it dissolves the negative thinking. It doesn't push it aside. I like to look at it as dissolving whatever it is that's bugging me in my mind right now. And so for me, when I was writing this last night, I chose health because I am actively pursuing an incredibly healthy body. Now, have I had to go through some funky stuff? Yes, I have. Do I still have those negative thoughts that may come to mind? I'd love to tell you I don't got them, but I got to tell you the truth. And they will come. They will come into the mind. And so what I did when I was doing this last night is I chose the word thriving. I love that word. Because when I'm thriving, it means I'm aware of consciousness of God in my life. And so when I change and apply the word thriving to a health challenge, it goes like this. I am thriving in health. I am thriving in health. Notice how my voice went crackle? The power center of our body. And if I don't believe those words, they're not going to manifest and come true. So I am thriving in health. And what happens to the negative thoughts? They begin to dissipate, and I begin to thrive. That's the name of this thing called unity. Is to bring us together, to bring our body, mind, our spirit, and our emotions together in truth so that we can love ourselves from the inside out. And so when Charles Fillmore wrote, abundance is invisible substance, that means you can't see it, I can't see my negative thought forms. I can't see my positive thought forms. But I know if I apply them to my life today, I will hold them in my mind. I will affirm the truth, and I will praise the gratitude from my heart for health and wholeness. Can you do that with what came to your mind about something in your life? Maybe you do need more money. How many of you would like to have more money? There ain't nothing wrong with that. So if you think you don't have enough, that's our lack consciousness. So we apply thriving and prosperity and opulence and abundance and all the cash I can spend to our lives. Edwene taught me this. And I went through lots of up and downs, became a single mom, all those kind of adventures in my life. And behind all of it were her teachings. When she says, creditors can't eat ya. That's one of her great sayings. Because when you only have X amount of dollars that you think you have, and you have all this other outgoing, where's the mind gonna focus on? The outgoing, not the incoming. So we have to know that God is the source of our supply for our health, our prosperity, our abundance in every way. And so Charles Fillmore gave us 2 simple steps. Isn't that wonderful? It's not 21 days, not 40 days, not a million steps. 2 simple steps for abundance. First, we must recognize that abundance is an idea that is real and has power to expand. So that means that God is our support of our supply, and that all the abundance in our life is coming to us constantly. And the second step is that we have to start talking about abundance. We talk about the good things that are happening in our lives. We can all talk about the negative stuff, can't we? And we want someone to join us on that negative stuff. But how about if we go to the positive and ask our neighbors, our friends, our family, those that we trust, will you join me in affirming the truth that all things work together for good? That I am prosperous, I'm abundant, I'm thriving, I'm healthy. And that's how simple it is. And when we plant those positive seeds, those abundant seeds, guess what we're going to do? We're going to reap a bountiful harvest. And I know in my life that is what I'm reaping today, is a bountiful harvest in every area of my life. My focus might be health, but everywhere I see prosperity and goodness in my family, my friends, all those whom I love. The joy of having grandchildren tell you how much they love you. There's nothing beyond that. Right, Kat? That's my girl. And so what we want to do is to give the gift of abundant living to ourselves. We want to do it today. Because in Luke, Jesus said, give it and it will be given to you. They will pour it in your lap, a good measure, pressed down and shaken together and running over. For by your standard of measure, it will be measured to you in return. Abundance. That's what we're about. And so everybody have their booklet, their 40 days of thankful living? If you don't have one, raise your hand and we'll get one to you. Vince doesn't have one. Akiko's coming. So I'd like you to look at this the first day, because today's the first day of our thankful living. And we do this at least every other year. Last year we did it, and we're doing it again this year because there's so much going on in our world, and we need to cultivate gratitude. And so we've dedicated the 40 days before Thanksgiving to the power of gratitude. It's a spiritual program that supports people in looking for and finding the blessings in one's life. Our lives are filled with good that often goes unnoticed. Each day we will open our eyes to see the rich blessings of God. With a grateful spirit, our lives will be made anew. Right now, in this very moment, I ask you to think for how many things that you're grateful for. Make a list and affirm them every day. Our list is 9, and I bet you can think of more than 9 things. And then we say, thank you, God. Thank you, God, for whatever it is. I thank God for health. I thank God for prosperity, for family, for love, for all these beautiful things. And in my car, it says to say it 100 times a day. That's a great teaching in itself. So in my car, I have a rosary beads that I use for my affirmations when I'm driving. And so I say my affirmations for the 10 Hail Marys, no longer applicable. And then in between, they have a bigger affirmation. And so I do that, especially when I have a negative thought form, and I'll be driving to Waimea. And it's like, holy cow, where'd that come from? So I grab my little beads and I start to affirm. And I swear every time, in minutes, seconds, I can't remember what it was I was so upset about a minute ago. And then I start to see the things that I'm grateful for. Because last year, one of the things I was very grateful for yesterday was that a year ago, when I first got pneumonia, I couldn't walk from our car down to church to be near the Ironman without heavy breathing, coughing. It was a great challenge. So yesterday, I was beside myself with happiness of how well I could breathe. You never know till you don't have breath how much you love your breath and that you know it's God. So those are the things that are happening for me because it's coming around a year of this adventure in health for me. And to know that by the grace of God, I am thriving in health and prosperity. So how many of you are willing to use this booklet for the next 40 days, one day at a time? Right? So it's going to change your consciousness and allow you to begin to think more clearly about all the good things that are happening in your life. Because we're constantly reminded of all the things that aren't. So it's our job to say, okay, I want to harvest more good in my life. So I'm going to sow more positive and abundant seeds. And so Edwene Gaines has this wonderful prayer to say when you're being a part of this 40 days and this adventure. And she says, Father, Mother, God, I invite the Holy Spirit to take charge of my journey to prosperity. I let go of all that has gone before, and I now begin anew. I am free and forgiven for all the mistakes I've made in the past. I open myself to expressing a brand new magnificence. I open myself to the infinite possibilities that are mine to choose. I open myself to receiving all the goodness I can have and to all the greatness I can achieve. I invite the Holy Spirit to heal my body, to harmonize my emotions, and to renew my mind. To fill me now with a mighty faith that empowers me and allows me to commit to be all that I came here to be. Amen. And so it is. Thank you, everyone.